All right, let's move on. Co-main event, fight of the night, Brandon Moreno,
Yep.
Alexander Pantoja. Um, there's not much to say about this. I mean, there's a lot to say about it, and there's and
Equally not a lot.
equally not a lot in
Yeah.
the sense of I just can't, I can't believe what an amazing fight this was, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Pantoja was amazing.
Yeah.
And Moreno was amazing. And I just thought, my couple takeaways from this fight was Brandon Moreno is probably one of the fastest boxers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I thought he was amazing when he got taken down, and his hand fighting and getting out of those positions, body triangles that Pantoja had him in, got out of those. It was just incredible amount of wrestling on the part of Moreno, which you don't normally see him do.
Right.
And takeaways from Pantoja, the guy is an animal. The guy just keeps moving forward. I mean, Moreno was just hitting him with that jab, like peppering him. It reminded me of Gaethje hitting Fiziev, like 17 times in a row. It was just like bang, bang, out, bang, bang. It was like, and Pantoja's face was wearing it.
He wore it, yeah, for sure.
So was Moreno. But it was back and forth, split decision, and I thought could have gone either way for sure.
Yeah, they fought
twice before, but a long time ago.
We'll probably have to see
when both of them were not as good as they are now. I can tell you that.
Yeah, right. Right. No, yeah. I think we definitely have to see it again. Like you said, it was a very, very close fight. Pantoja takes the belt. It's something we're gonna have to.
Yeah, and my takeaway on this is that I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, because I really haven't been gauging what people have been saying on Twitter and stuff like that. But the way I feel is that I don't think he did enough to take the belt. I just don't. And I feel like in order to take the belt by decision, you have to have a dominant showing.
Right.
And I just don't think it was dominant on one side, one or the other, to be honest. But
so it goes back to go ahead, sir.
No, I'm just saying, to be the champion, you got to beat the champion decisively.
Yeah, so it goes back to the conversation, like when you're fighting for the belt and you're challenging for the belt, do you have to do something? Do you have to win in a more convincing fashion? Does the belt make it? I don't know.
I think it does. Yeah. I just view it that way, and maybe I'm wrong.
You have to do more to win the belt than a regular fight.
I think you do. You're trying to become world champ.
Yeah.
You're trying to become the best, one of the best fighters in the world.
Can't just eke it out and squeeze it by.
And it's hard. This fight's really, really hard to say that about, because it wasn't a fight where we're like, oh, it was back and forth a little bit and it was a decent fight. No, this was a fucking awesome fight. Yeah. And back and forth, and both guys wanted it really bad.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, when it comes down to it, I just think you've got to be convincing enough to say, okay, that guy should be champion now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I think, another perspective on it is whoever is the champion is fighting, every time he fights, he's fighting the best person available.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless you've beaten everybody, you're fighting the best person available. So, yeah, when you lose the belt, it should have to be more convincing.
Yeah, and I can see the argument that Pantoja won the fight, sure, and maybe he deserves to be champion. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be champion, because, like I said, if it was a fight where it was close and there's not a lot of action or something, or it's just like all kind of wrestling, whatever, they're holding each other on the cage and all that kind of shit, where it's like, if Moreno was trying to just hold, because some of the, I'm not going to point anybody out, but some of the champions will just, okay, I'm going to hold you on the cage and play it safe and not take a lot of damage and take you down a couple times and win a couple rounds. This was not that at all. No. This is just back and forth, constant action. No. This was not any, I'm going to eke this victory out because I'm the champion. I'm going to hold you against the cage and not do much and win a couple rounds here or there and cruise to another victory. This was not that at all. No. And and good on Moreno too, because, I think maybe it has to do with the weight class too, flyweights. I mean, it's a little bit harder to I feel like it's a little bit harder to have that kind of game plan because there's so much action. They're so fast and they're so elusive and hard to keep on the ground and all that.
You're 100% right. Them being elusive is a big part of it, I think.
Yeah, I just thought it was an incredible fight, and like I said, could have gone either way. And I mean, I'm happy for Pantoja too. I like both guys. I think they're genuinely good guys, and I feel like Pantoja is just like. I mean, it was awesome to see. Did you see his kids come in the ring?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, he's got these kids. I'm hoping I'm remembering this correctly. I think he's got 4 boys, and they all have really long hair, and they all seem like they're between the ages of 5 and 7 to 8, maybe.
Yeah.
And they were so happy they were crying.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
it was awesome. Actually.
That's amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah, you love to see stuff like that.
And, I mean, yeah, it was so cool to see that in the end. I just thought,
yeah.
But whatever. I love Moreno too. You can't, going back to Moreno, it's like you can't get a nicer, more genuine guy than Moreno. Like that guy doesn't he acts so genuine all the time. He's almost just a goofball.
Well, he's just unapologetically himself.
Right,
he
exactly.
likes building Legos, and he's a nerd.
Right.
And,
yeah, I mean,
he is also a fucking
it's just
assassin.
The way he talks, and the way he
baby, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I don't know. I when I first started watching, when I first saw Moreno, I don't know. I just didn't like him for some reason. I just thought it was weird how he fought and how he was always like doing these moves or whatever. And it's not that I didn't like him. I just didn't have a liking for him, I guess. Yeah. But anyways, great guys. I think both great guys. 100% I want to see the rematch, and 100% they should do the rematch. I don't fucking care if they fought 3 times now. The first 2 fights don't count in my opinion because we did not see the same fighters that we saw on Saturday night.
No.
And
it's the same kind of deal with, they're going to fight 4 times just like him and Figueiredo fought 4 times. And that's just sometimes what it has to be. Sometimes we got to finish the series.
Yeah, who doesn't want to see it again? I mean,
right.
I mean, you go on in the comments and tell us. If you don't want to see it again, tell us why.
Tell us why, right?
Because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.